Ujambo mpenzi mtazamaji wa Fichuzi254k Media. Karibu ndani ya Fichuzi254k Media, na kabla hujaendelea ama tukuja kuletea habari kutoka kwa mchungaji Samo Mitshiby ambaye amekashifu Ezekiel na kumwambia aache kutoa kafara ya watu baada ya kupeana maji ambayo fanya watu kuaga kila mwaka. Basi chukua muda tu wako wa kusubscribe ninapokuletea habari hii. Basi sikiza mchungaji huyu ambaye anaitwa Samo Mitshiby ambaye anasema kwamba Ezekiel anatumia nguvu kutoka majini kuweza kuleta watu kanisani, lakini watu hao wanapoenda kule kanisani pia basi kuna kafara ambayo huwa Ezekiel anatoa kutoka kwa hao watu. Basi sikiza ujumbe wake.
Immediately I arrived here, I went to the office. I found when the church had been open, I went to the office and immediately I sat on my seat. An angel of the Lord appeared. So the angel of the Lord sat and he told me, I want to talk to you. And I told him, go ahead and talk. So he asked me a question. Why are you initiating my people? Why are you initiating my people? I looked at him and I asked him, me initiating people? That he was the mosquito that was interfering with me from Friday, Saturday, and now today. He was the mosquito. I have no jealousy soever, and God is my witness, with the man of God that I'm about to talk about. And I'll still call him man of God. But what I'm about to say is purely truth. And even you know I'm not lying. I'm speaking the truth. As I always tell you, I'm one person, I don't talk until heavens talk. That's why it's very rare for you people to hear my voice anyhowly. But whenever I speak, give it time, you will see it. Because I'm not in any competition of a name, not in any competition of famosity. No. And I'm not in any competition of wealth. If there is anything called wealth, then at my level where I've reached, I am very wealthy. Because once upon a time, I was a street boy. And a street boy doesn't have a home. I have nothing against Ezekiel Odero of Mombasa, Mavueni. But I'm going to speak as a prophet. And I'm asking a question. Why are you initiating thousands and thousands and thousands of Kenyans, putting demons in them by a liquid that you have acquired from ocean, telling people it's the Lord's table? Listen what the angel told me. He's the current priest from the queen of the ocean. Before Ezekiel Odero became the priest of the underworld ocean, the first man who was the priest was a man called Joshua Mwanyaka from Tanzania. He's a prophet. He was the priest. Then when the season of Joshua came to an end, he handed over the mantle to a man called Godavia. He's also a prophet in Tanzania. He handed over the mantle to a man called Godavia in Tanzania. Joshua served very well, and his term was over. When his term was over, he handed over the mantle to a man called Godavia in Tanzania. Godavia failed because when you become a member, when you become a priest of the underworld, the ocean, you are not allowed to have any intercourse with normal women on earth. You are not allowed. Even your own wife. Your property belongs there. We have children in the house. So this man, after acquiring wealth and wealth and wealth, His desire for normal women, human daughters, was so high he could not control himself. And so he started indulging in relationship with normal women, earthly women. Because at that level, you have to keep the code. The queen sent an agent by the name Rahab. Rahab came on earth in the name of Zerah. Zerah met the wife of Ezekiel, Sarah. The target was Ezekiel, because Ezekiel was seen preaching in a place called Mariakani. He had 2 speakers. So they spotted him. And they felt this man can make a good priest. So they went through the wife. So Ezekiel met this woman in the disguise of somebody who wanted help of prayer. And that woman gave Ezekiel 50,000. If Ezekiel will watch this program, he knows I'm not cheating. I've never spoken about him in any negative way. Check all my records. Even when Onyango of Eldoret insulted him, I told Onyango that was wrong. We don't need to insult each other and execute thunder. Because to me, I will believe you as a servant of God until the day the heavens will tell me you are not. As long as you call yourself a servant of God, I will give you the credits 100%, because who am I to judge? Because I don't decide for God whom he should use and whom he should not use. So as long as you come and you say you are a servant of God, automatically to me as Samo, I will accord you the maximum respect you deserve. Because I have to ask angels questions before I go to ask to speak about what I'm going to speak. I cannot just pick a message and I go with it. No. I have to ask my questions. And if they are not answered, then I will not talk about that thing. And they know me. And probably that's why even them, they had to trigger me into a point that I have no option. This woman came in a disguise of someone who was looking for help. Ezekiel and the wife, they were very innocent, not knowing they were being lured into something. And so, this woman one day asked if Ezekiel was willing to meet her boss. Ezekiel didn't know what she was going to meet. Ezekiel willingly, he met the queen of ocean without knowing that she was the queen of ocean. And the power that was discharged from the queen got into Ezekiel when he shared a table with the queen. And from there he lost himself. The first money that Ezekiel was given was 3 million. Cash for gunia, not through the bank. Do you have to initiate thousands of Kenyans and Tanzanians and Ugandans by a liquid you have drawn from ocean in the name of the Lord's table? Do we have to go to that extent? To everyone who went to Mavueni for the Lord's table, before the new moon of January, get water, put inside salt, take the Lord's Prayer 2 times and decree a sanctification, to be sanctified. Decree with your own mouth. Then take that water, salted. It will dissolve the cord. But if the moon of January will appear when you have not done it, wait for the results. And so, this is how this priesthood thing has moved. From Joshua to this man called Godavia. Now it came to Ezekiel, and the assistant of Ezekiel is a woman in Tanzania called Mfalme, Zumari, Zumuridi, something like that. Even the name has. Last year, both of them were arrested. Ezekiel was arrested. The woman was arrested in Tanzania. They were all released. It was not God who released Ezekiel from prison. It was the Queen of the Ocean who commanded the government and ordered the government of Kenya to release Ezekiel. That's why the government never told us on what ground, on what accounts that Ezekiel was released. Because if I don't speak it, it become a punishment to me. Why didn't you speak? As someone found that name, such something. He's called what? She's called what? In Tanzania. Zumaridi. Thank you. That's the name. So Ezekiel is the priest. This is the, because they get their supply directly from the Queen of the Ocean. You have found it. What is it? Yes. But now the problem is initiating people. So as a prophet, I say this. Everyone who went to Mavueni and you took the so-called Lord's table, cleanse yourself. And the only way to cleanse yourself, don't deceive yourself, you'll go to a prophet for prayer. This is not about prayer. You participated on a table of the Queen of the Ocean. Cleanse yourself by water. Take water. Put salt. Why salt? Because salt is the only thing that cannot be reversed. Go to the teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ or Yeshua. He said you are the salt of the world. What can happen if the salt loses its? What can happen if the salt loses? Nothing. But it will be thrown out and people will tremble on it. Because salt is the only thing that is unreversible. Salt is the only element on earth that is unreversible. And you can only destroy it by two things. Burn it or dilute it. Take salt, your own salt, put inside water. Take the Lord's Prayer 2 times. Which part of the prayer will solve your case? The part that says, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from it. That is the part of the prayer that will activate that salt and water. Because water is a combination of darkness, light, and fire. The Lord took fire, darkness, and light and put together. And he commanded the light to dominate fire and darkness. That's why water has no color. And you will be saved from that contamination. Those coding things mmeingizwa ndani. But I'm not forcing anyone. Me, I'm just speaking. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want, stay.